Hello and welcome. Today, we've got an amazing ancient story for you, one that really makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about power, poverty, and what it means to be wealthy. It's this incredible tale about how real strength isn't about what you own, but about what you can endure with a compassionate heart. All right, so let's just jump right in. Picture this. You've got a king. His vaults are literally overflowing with golden jewels. And then you have this spiritual seeker, an ascetic who owns absolutely nothing. So who's the wealthier one? The answer seems pretty obvious, right? Well, stick around because you might be in for a surprise.
So our story kicks off in the ancient city of Shravasti, and it's about a man named Shan Shun. Now, he wasn't just some guy, he was a bodhisattva. That means his entire life was dedicated to helping everyone else find enlightenment. He was famous for his kindness, his total calm no matter what was thrown at him, and just living this incredibly pure and simple life.
But here's where it gets interesting. Shanshin's goodness was so perfect that it actually made a powerful god suspicious. The celestial king Indra is looking down from the heavens and thinking, hang on, nobody is this good without some kind of hidden agenda. He must be secretly trying to build up good karma to take my throne or something. So Indra decides he's got to put this guy to the test. And we're not talking about just one little test. Nope. Indra cooks up a series of 4 seriously tough trials. Each one gets more intense than the last, and each one is specifically designed to hit a different human weakness. He's trying to find a crack in the armor, to expose the ambition he's sure is hiding under the surface. So, what's the game plan? First, Indra is going to try straight-up violence. If that doesn't crack him, he'll move on to the lure of unimaginable wealth. Still nothing? Okay, let's test his honesty with lies. And for the grand finale, the most personal attack of all, seduction. Let's see how our bodhisattva does. For the very first trial, Indra sends 4 of his guys down, and they corner Shan Shun. They just start screaming the worst insults at him, and then they attack him with knives, with clubs, with stones. It is a completely brutal, unprovoked attack, and it's all designed to make him angry, to make him fight back. But Shan Shun, he just stands there and takes it all, without a single trace of hate. And his response here is just wow. Indra's men are completely shocked that he's not fighting back, and they ask him why. And this is what he says. He basically explains that fighting violence with more violence is like planting a bitter seed and expecting a sweet fruit. It just doesn't work. Retaliation only ever leads to more suffering. It's such a powerful lesson in just enduring with wisdom. Okay, so violence was a total bust. Indra switches gears to greed. He makes these massive piles of gold and silver just magically appear right in Shanshun's path. Then his agents pop up and say, hey buddy, look at all this. No one's watching, it's all yours. Just take it. I mean, for anyone living in poverty, this is the ultimate test.
But Shan Shun doesn't even flinch. He's not tempted at all. He tells them that stealing just leads to a miserable life. And then he drops this incredible bombshell, totally redefining what it means to be rich. It's not about how much you have. It's about being content. If you're happy with what you've got, even if that's nothing, then you, my friend, are the wealthiest person in the world.
All right, so violence didn't work and greed didn't work. For trial number 3, Indra goes after his integrity. He shows up in person this time and offers Shanshin a fortune in gold. All he has to do is tell one tiny lie in a court case. Just bear false witness one time. And once again, Shanshun is an absolute rock. He sees lying not as some small thing, but as the source, the very root of all other evil. You know, it poisons everything. For him, telling the truth is non-negotiable. It's worth more than every piece of gold in the entire universe. At this point, you can just imagine Indra is tearing his hair out. He's getting desperate. So he unleashes his final and maybe most powerful weapon, lust. He sends down these celestial maidens. We're talking supernatural, off-the-charts beauty. And they appear before Shanshun in the middle of the night, ready to tempt him. And Shanshun's reaction is just amazing. He looks at these unbelievably beautiful beings, and he sees right through the illusion. He doesn't see beauty, he sees a temporary collection of skin and bones. He sees something fleeting, something that won't last. His mind is just so focused on a deeper truth that this kind of temptation has zero power over him. So all 4 trials have failed. And not just failed, they failed spectacularly. Indra is now completely humbled, and honestly, he's just confused. He finally goes to Shanshin, bows to him, and asks the one question that started this whole thing.
If you don't want power or money or pleasure, what in the world do you want? Why are you doing all this?
And right here, Shan Shun lays it all out, his true motivation. And you know what? It has absolutely nothing to do with him. He's not trying to get into heaven or have a better life. His only goal is to achieve enlightenment, to get beyond all suffering, but not for himself. He's doing it so that he can become the perfect guide to help every single other being find that same freedom. Now the story shifts gears, moving from this heavenly showdown back down to the city streets. Shan Shun finds a priceless golden bell, a treasure of enormous value. But instead of keeping it, he does something really wild. He goes to the town square and makes an announcement. I'm going to give this treasure to the single poorest person in this entire city. And who does he name as the poorest person? Not a beggar on the street, not an orphan. He points to the king himself, King Prasenjit, who at that very moment is busy counting his treasures. The king is, of course, furious. And this is where the story's real lesson just clicks into place. The king has all the money in the world, but his greed is endless. He always wants more. Shan Shun has nothing, but he is perfectly content. In the Bodhisattva's eyes, the person who is never satisfied, that is the truly poor one. Well, the king is completely insulted. He storms up to Shan Shun and demands proof. Who are you to call me poor? Who on earth could possibly be a witness to back up such a crazy claim? And Shan Shun's answer just sets the stage for the most incredible climax you can imagine. Shan Shun just kneels down, says a short verse of praise, and calls upon the one ultimate witness, the Buddha himself. And in this jaw-dropping, miraculous moment, the ground literally trembles and splits open, and right there, rising from the earth, is the Buddha, surrounded by thousands of his followers, here to settle the argument once and for all. The Buddha then lays down the final verdict. He looks at the king and says, look, when it comes to material things like gold and jewels, yeah, you're rich and Shan Shun is poor. But when it comes to the things that really matter, like virtue, wisdom, and compassion, Shan Shun's wealth is immeasurable. And in that sense, O king, you are truly the poorest of all. And that one moment just shatters the king's whole world. He gets it. He humbly accepts the teaching and has this profound spiritual awakening. Right then and there, he vows to split his entire treasury into 3 parts. One for the Buddha and his monks, one for the poor people of the city, and one to keep the kingdom running. And this incredible act of generosity inspires hundreds in his court and thousands of citizens to have their own awakening. That one act of the Bodhisattva's compassion just started this huge ripple effect of goodness. And so this ancient story just leaves us with this huge, lingering question. I mean, we live in a world that is constantly screaming at us to get more money, more stuff, more status. But this story suggests that maybe, just maybe, real wealth is something else entirely. Maybe it's found in being content, in having integrity, and in having a compassionate heart that can endure anything for the sake of others. So what do you think?